Hey y'all, I found some interesting news. Unfortunately, it's been 5 days, so hopefully most of you are like me when it comes to updating your equipment. You don't do it right away. But behind me here is the Nikon Coolpix P1000 camera. This also involves the Coolpix P950 camera. Recently, 5 days ago, Nikon issued an update for the P950 and the P1000. Now, what I find most interesting about that is the P1000 has some very, very good capabilities, and it's been discontinued. And Nikon signed an agreement with NASA to make a camera for the moon. Now, I am somebody who has been into computers for the better part of 2 decades, and firmware updates are not necessarily something that is always needed. And the majority of the time I stay a couple of versions behind. So when it comes to this camera update, I will issue a stark warning to those of you that own one and keep up on things like this. They tell you it's for one particular reason. They released an update that fixed a menu setting, and that's great and all, but you understand that they could throw anything in that download and not tell you about it. Now you're thinking here, no, they keep it good. It's supposed to make the hardware better via software, but you don't know what they're adding to it, and you don't know what they're taking away from it. This camera has some awesome settings from what I understand. I wish I had one, but unfortunately I don't think I will get one. So please don't do the update. You might notice some differences, but everybody else can tell me what they think about it.
Guys, the 7 planets are not physical objects. Now I'm going to show you what NASA shows us versus what a real camera, a Nikon P900, which is the most powerful zoom camera in the world, actually shows us. So here is NASA's CGI version of Mars. Here's what Mars actually looks like. So guys, these planets are luminaries. They are lights in the sky. They are the only wandering stars. Also, how is it when you point a camera at the North Star, which is Polaris, all the stars around it do perfect circles 365 days of the year. Also, the constellations realign in the same exact spot 365 days, which means we are absolutely not doing this, hurtling through space at millions of miles per hour, orbiting the sun and spinning 1,000 miles per hour. Like, how would we see the same exact constellations aligned in the same exact spot every 365 days? Not possible if we were doing this. So check this out. This is the planet Venus, or a luminary, a light in the firmament traced over an 8-period time, and this is the pattern it creates. Guys, none of this would be possible on the model that NASA is feeding us. So guys, this is what our planets or wandering stars actually look like, and not this fake CGI cartoons that NASA feeds us. So the Earth is a stationary plane with the stars fixated in the firmament. The stars are moving and we are stationary, just like the Bible said, and just like all of our ancient ancestors tried to tell us. And here's NASA.
Thermodynamics disapproves evolution and the Big Bang Theory. The second law of thermodynamics states that the total entropy of a system either increases or remains constant in any spontaneous process. It never changes. In other words, objects tend to go into disorder. So if we have a broken champagne glass, 1 year later, we wouldn't come back and get a full new champagne glass. If this bag of sand is stirred, this will likely be the outcome after a period of time. You're not gonna leave a old rusted car in the backyard and come back after a year and find a brand new Lamborghini. It is not possible. because the law of thermodynamics states that objects tend to go into disorder. It does not build back itself into order. So you're telling me, after a random explosion, random dust and particles somehow after 300 years defying the law of thermodynamics turn into rock, then into planets? It does not make sense. It is impossible. So if you believe somehow you were once a fish that somehow turned into this and eventually into this, you have to be crazy, because the natural laws of the universe does not allow it. So this monkey man business and this random explosion that somehow created the human eyeball is total BS. Wake up to the truth.
Does anyone want to tell me why the United Nations decided to use the flat Earth for their logo? I want to know. I want to know. It's so confusing why these unelected officials that literally control everything in the world decided to use the flat Earth as their logo. Why did they decide to put a flat Earth map in the middle of George W. Bush Airport with a tree of life in the middle and the dome on the top? Why? Isn't it so strange that all these government organizations use the flat Earth map in their logo, guys? And I love looking at Freemason art, these people that are behind the United Nations and they put the globe on a pedestal and the sun, the moon, the same distance from the Earth, and seems pretty flat to me. Yeah, gravity doesn't exist, guys. They can't prove it. It's just density and buoyancy, something that is proved through science. Water always finds its level. That's why they use it in a water level. It's also why they call it sea level, not sea curve. It's kind of like all of our wisest ancestors were trying to tell us something about this realm. Well, this doesn't look very good, NASA. You guys notice the difference in the size of North America from 2007 to 2012? Whoa. Yeah, they have lied to you your whole entire lives, hiding God's true creation. You just gotta look within for the real answers. Peace and love.
So they just released satellite views of the solar eclipse from 2024 of the moon's shadow, right? This moon that we apparently went to in 1969 and have never been back to, but NASA still uses $26 billion a year of our tax dollars, right? Yet they show us this really cool CGI, AI looking pictures that they're taking with these satellites. But why do you never see any stars in these pictures they show us when they're showing them on the moon or from these satellites? We never see the stars. But then you see many pictures like this that are showing the stars in our moon and other planets. It's always showing the stars in these other pictures, but when they're up on the moon, there's no stars. Well, check this out. This is how they explain that we don't see any of these stars when you see these pictures of the Earth. Because the Earth, when it's being lit by the sun, is many thousands of times brighter than the stars around it. So it's swamping out the light from the stars, bro. You can't see the stars. So explain to me why we've seen a million pictures like this showing all the stars. So they're just painting pictures for us, right? They're just painting the picture. They're not actually real pictures. So does that make you question just a little bit how they can program images and beliefs into your head? All I know is I never used to look at this stuff, and when I find myself looking at this stuff, I start seeing these details that I've never noticed before. Because any angle that you see these guys, whether the Earth's light is blinding out the stars back here or not, at any angle you never see any of these stars in these pictures. So tell me, at what direction do the stars disappear, and where do they light up? Where are they the opposite of this bright Earth? The other side of the moon, pointing the other direction of the Earth, should show plenty of stars, but they don't ever show you those pictures.
Yeah, the Earth is just flat.
You believe the Earth is flat?
Yeah, definitely.
Really? Okay.
And you understand all that about astrology. I'm surprised to hear that.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Okay, we're not on a ball, we're in a ball. Every single planet rotates counterclockwise around Polaris. That's the North Star. It doesn't move ever. The moon landing was shot in a studio. Space travel's impossible. Not the way that we think that it is. More, maybe like down through the water and then out. But I haven't figured all that out yet.
How does, I mean, satellites orbiting Earth?
They're not.
What do you mean?
They're fake balloons. Look it up. Satelloons. There's so much evidence out there of satelloons. Anybody watching this podcast right now can look up satelloons and you'll see true satellites don't exist. Satelloons exist. Satellites are not how you're getting a phone signal. All phone signals are through a cord in the ocean.
The internet is not dependent on satellites in space?
No. It's all
on the phone cord.
These cords. Yeah.
I've never heard that information. That's interesting.
Well, it's all the globalist agenda, dude. Like Elon Musk, right? Like he's trying to go to space, is what he says. But he's also trying to put a fucking chip in your brain.
All I know is the flat side of TikTok, scary place to be. It has me sitting here questioning everything in life. And I used to be one of those people that were like, flat earth, like that makes no sense. Like, then how does stuff not fall off the side? Until I actually looked up at the flat earth side, and now I'm like, wait, why does it all make sense? And then when you really go down that rabbit hole and you start learning about like what's outside of like the ice wall and how there's other civilizations out there that are trying to contact us to save us, and then you hear that like that's why we only use like 10% of our brain, because we're supposed to be able to use more of our brain, but the people that are keeping us in this globe mindset are the ones that are not letting us get our full potential because they want to control us. Okay, sorry it has taken me so long to get back to people. I'm going to use this comment just because there's so many I can't keep up. I was not expecting that video to go crazy. I am a stay-at-home full-time working mom. I was not ready for that. That was overwhelming. And there's just a lot. There's a lot of information, a lot of different theories. And they have stories to back it up. Like, they have these maps are the original maps that we used to use. The WHO still uses this map as their logo. Why would they still use that as their logo if it's not valid anymore? Like, that makes sense. But then on the other side, there's also stuff that doesn't make sense to me because I didn't do further research in it to find the answers that people have for it. Like the seasons. I can't make sense of it. Maybe someone out there can. But then there's stuff like about the penguins that it doesn't make sense of where they come from, how they get to where they are. Like, it just, unless our countries are closer than where they are, or at least where they tell us they are. And then also, like, what about Admiral Byrd or Nikola Tesla? It just doesn't make sense because supposedly they knew. So, and the whole Antarctica thing, it's just really, really suspicious to me because why can't anyone go there? Like, I mean, we can, but it's like you have to be approved. You have to go on a wait list and be approved to go there. It's a tour. You have to be guided. Like, you can't just go there on your own. And it's all locked down with military. Not just our military. If you look at a map, it literally has a military base for multiple different countries. Like, maybe that makes sense to somebody out there. Maybe it's completely logical, but I don't have the answer to that. I mean, they say that they're research teams, but what are they researching? And why are they researching out there with all the other ones all together? Okay, so I put a map. Now, I don't know if you could see, but you could literally go to Google and just type in map of Antarctica, and this is what you have. These are each all from different countries. Research What are they researching together? Like I said, maybe there's an answer out there, but I don't have one, and it's suspicious to me. Actually, fun fact, and you could do your own research, you could look this up yourself on Google or whatever. NASA has admitted to photoshopping and editing and enhancing their pictures. And I don't know about you, but that sounds a little suspicious to me. Also, right now, you're looking at a picture of me with beautiful lashes on my eyes, right? They're not real, even though you're looking at a picture of them. Now again, I'm not here to say I believe or don't believe. I'm just here to give you the information. I love that first sentence. Because not that it matters, but I have a full-time job that I work at home with my kids. But that's completely irrelevant, because even if I didn't have a job, that doesn't make me any less educated than anyone that does have a job. Just because I am a stay-at-home mom and I choose to be a stay-at-home mom, that doesn't mean that I have a less of an education than someone that has a fucking job. And I also went to college. And I don't live in my hometown. Imagine that. But you have a good night. Or a good morning, whatever it is near you. I hope it's good. And I hope that you don't talk down to other stay-at-home moms the way that you just talked down to me, thinking that you knew me. Do better.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Idialenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.